Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Starladder America Qualifier. We're here with the end of it. We've got one best of three left, the losers bracket finals. The boys will be separated from the men today, Merlini.
Second team will qualify along with Team Dog, and this one should be a good one. Dignotoss versus Osiris game. I did not get an update of the odds going into the match, but it should be like, I'd say 60-40-ish Osiris.
Yes.
70-30. Dignotoss is favored? Are you kidding?
Wow. That's a really big disparity.
That's really big.
If anything, I'd expect it to be almost 50-50.
I would bet on Osiris. I think Osiris is the better team, for sure.
That's a good bet. Get on it, guys.
It's 12 minutes ago. The bets are closed.
Oh, they're closed?
But I would totally bet on this. Osiris, first off, they came from a winner's bracket.
Yeah.
And secondly, they lost to Team Dog, which was the only team they lost to. So Dignotoss, they lost to I don't remember who they lost to in the upper bracket.
They lost to Team Dog as well.
They lost to Team Dog? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, from the games that I've seen, Dignotoss have been like a little bit shaky. Osiris actually gave Team Dog a really good fight and almost won. Dignotoss weren't really close to beating them in either game.
Yeah.
And Dignotoss also, they used a stand-in for one of their really important roles yesterday. That was a Storm Spirit. His name was Justin. He is not here today. So all these factors combined lead me to believe that the odds are very skewed. Yes,
and they've got Chicken MC back to the streets with them today, and they didn't have him yesterday, so perhaps that is the good luck charm.
Bane? Well, they didn't do that. They lost with him.
Yeah.
Against Team Dog.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, he wasn't there yesterday, but they did squeak out a win. So, all right, let's take a look at this draft. It is underway, and here we are. So this is game one of the best of three, guys. The winner will join Team Dog in the actual Starladder America round robin once we get started here coming up in March, and the loser will walk away empty-handed from this series. An interesting choice in this draft already, though. We see Visage and Clockwork first picked by Osiris, but Nature's Prophet Jakiro. A little bit of that twin-headed dragon action.
Jakiro's second pick is very unusual. Aoi 2000 would be super proud.
So talk to us about that hero a little bit. I mean, where does he stand in the meta right now? Good, strong, underpowered?
He's strong.
Strong?
Yeah, he's on my...
Undervalued right now, perhaps?
Right under top tier of supports.
Okay.
I mean, he could be top tier supports. I don't see why not. He has AoE and all four of his abilities. AoE is just amazing. Firstly, I mean, it sounds easy, but AoE is really underrated. He has very good zoning tools with his third skill, Liquid Fire. His AoE disables very short cooldown. Ice Path is on a 9-second cooldown. Micropyre really good at creep clearing, and he also sets up for a lot of combos too. He's a flexible support. You can pair him with like a Shadow Demon if you want to get kills, any melee stunner that you want to put in lane, like a Sven carry, Sand King, anything like that, you can pair him with. You can also pair him with like a Void.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Shadow Demon,
Macropyre inside of a Chronosphere. That's dirty.
You can do any of these things. So he's like a very flexible hero. Like Disruptor works well and with like some heroes, but Jakiro works well with like almost everything. So he's a very good early pick. Apparently you can zone people out with Liquid Fire. Aoi goes a 2-1-4 build. So max Liquid Fire at level 7 and Liquid Fire at level 1. And he's also good at sieging towers, which is not your typical support.
Right, that's very true. So maybe underrated. We'll see how Dignotoss build their draft around him. It's also interesting because we've seen a lot of Dignotoss action over the past week, and we have not seen them play Jakiro
we have not
at all. So this is sort of almost like a wild card play here. We're in the final series of the tournament, and now they're bringing out those stealthy plays, those pocket aces maybe. We'll see how it works for him. Magnus, the third choice for Osiris. Interesting to see a third pick Magnus because there are quite a few heroes that can give the Magnetar a run for his money in the mid lane.
It might be a denied pick. They don't want to give like Dignotoss some huge wombo combo.
Yeah, RP, Macropyre, that's the beginnings of a scary team fight.
I mean, 6.78 was all about Magnus combos, and it was like Magnus plus Alchemist, Magnus plus Jakiro, and then whatever other spells you could dump in there. And yeah, I mean, I would say it's more of a deny pick than a pick for themselves, just because it doesn't synergize that well with Visage or Clockwork. We may see a very heavy melee carry like an Anti-Mage, Spectre, which Patso likes to play a lot and has not yet been banned out by Dignotoss, especially since Naga Siren has been banned out. Aside from that, Anti-Mage is probably the go-to with a Magnus.
All right, well, we'll see if that's what they want to do. Spectre's still an option, though. We've seen a surprising amount of Spectre play. And have both these teams actually done a couple Radiant strategies? I know we've seen it from, we saw it yesterday a couple of times.
Yeah.
Osiris has done some Naga as well. So they're both.
I think that Osiris has played it more, but Dignotoss is definitely respected.
So both of them are potentials here for a Radiance carry. Spectre wouldn't be too bad for Osiris. Luna will be the third choice for Dignotoss. Good carry for their potential Wombo combo. A lot of magic damage here for the mid game.
They need a second support. I think they need something with AoE that can actually dump some damage into RP. You want to have some sort of follow-up. Like, at least one AoE stun. Like, a Lion, I think, at the bare minimum would be okay with the Impale. But Visage, he can dump the damage in and, like, do okay with the Familiars, but that's not enough.
Well, let's see. What other supports are on the field right now? I mean, Crystal Maiden is still an option. No.
Freezing Field's ownage.
Yeah, they'll go with Rubik. And that doesn't really solve their AoE damage problem, but there are a lot of scary spells that Rubik could steal here, potentially to line up with Magnus.
I think this also might be a deny pick, too, because they don't want to give it to Dignotoss. And it's good versus Magnus. It's also good versus Clockwork in case they want to put a lot of pressure on him. So I think that Osiris is just taking away a lot of heroes that they're scared of, that don't necessarily work that well in their lineup. They ban out a couple of pushers, Pugna and Death Prophet, because Dignotoss does like to push a lot. And they did use the Pugna yesterday. I don't believe they used the Death Prophet, but Osiris, a team that usually does not win out in the first 10 minutes, they really don't want to be, they don't want all their T1 and T2s down.
Osiris is the team that we've talked about being very resilient, where throughout this tournament they pretty much have almost always lost the laning phase, and then it's that mid game where they tighten up, they work together, and that's where they really start
like the
to
LGD
shine.
China of North America.
Yeah, so if they can tighten up that laning phase, they're looking to be a pretty scary team. Dragonite, the fourth pick for Team Dignotoss. So that will be their mid choice. Another pretty solid Wombo combo hero. Not one of those classic huge AoE ultimates, but he will be able to throw some steady AoE damage with the Breathe Fire and a nice staple space creator for the mid lane.
Yeah, I think Spectre will probably be what they're looking for right now.
For Dignotoss, you mean? Or
no,
for Osiris? Yeah.
Is what I would expect. I'm trying to think of anything else that would make sense.
That was a stupid question. Why would you put Spectre and Luna together? Embarrassed. I just embarrassed myself.
It happens sometimes.
It happens to the best of us.
No, you can.
Oh, you mean Luna Spectre?
Yeah, you can throw them for a loop. You can just do dual lanes if you think they have really weak lanes. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
it's not the best thing in the world.
That's pretty greedy though. Spectre and Luna.
I've seen more greedy strats though.
Yeah.
Give a Furion to TP into.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, they will ban out the Lifestealer, not the anti-mage that you were talking about. And he could be a likely last pick here. They'll need some sort of a carry, because right now...
I'd say Spectre would be my #1 pick for them, just because they like it a lot, they use it a lot, and they like to farm. And Anti-Mage would be #2. The reason I don't like Anti-Mage as much is because he doesn't push as well, and secondly, they don't have any heavy int heroes, no like Storm Spirit to get a big mana void off of. And thirdly, he kind of gets boned by Dragonite's Dragon Tail. Spectre can just tank it. He's like, whatever. So I think Spectre is...
Spectre likes it. He feeds on the damage.
Yeah, he's like, please stun me so Magnus can get that big RP off.
Okay. Give it to me so I can dish it back out without dispersion.
Who else? Gyrocopter would be nice. It's stable. A lot of damage to dump into RP. Works okay with Empower and also gives them early game. So I would also like Gyrocopter. I'd probably put Gyrocopter above Anti-Mage, but just... If it weren't this team, I'd probably say Gyrocopter would be the best pick, but since it is Osiris, I'd probably say Spectre.
Well, only about 10 seconds left of reserve time, so Osiris will have to make an executive decision in just a few seconds, and there it is. It is the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, that's no big surprise. So Anti-Mage was my #3 on those, but it's still... like it should have been one of those three, so at least they're on the right page. Yeah,
I mean any of those will be a sufficient hard carry, and whoa, Wombo combo it is
into a Rubik. That's
bold.
That is very bold.
That's brave. That shows a level of confidence. That says, you know what, I see your Rubik.
That's so much push though. This is why I don't like the Anti-Mage, because they have so much push. Every single hero has something that can deal with towers. Dragonite with his ult, Enigma with Eidolons, Luna with her Aura, Jakiro with Liquid Fire, Nature Prophet with his Treants. And Osiris, they're going to be really hard pressed to defend their towers. The Gyrocopter or Spectre would be much better at defending their towers early.
Yeah, and they don't really have a lot of creep clear either. Basically, just Shockwave from Magnus is all they have to clear out the Eidolons, the Treants, and all the creeps that'll be inbound.
Yeah, Rubik,
Fatebolt as
Rubik
well.
Too,
yeah, but
it's mediocre.
Still not a lot, and I worry, especially if DNT managed to farm up a pipe. yeah, they'll be able to tank. Those creeps will be able to survive all of those nukes pretty easily. So Osiris will have their work cut out for him in the mid game. And if this anti-mage, I mean, is there an option to not go Battle Fury on anti-mage so that he can come online a little bit earlier? Or
yeah, but you'll lose.
But yeah,
you'll lose the late game because he can't farm fast is the problem. You can get a Vlad's if you really have to. If your team's just like doing absolutely terrible and they really, really need you, then you can get Treads Vlad's. But if you're forced to get Treads Vlad's, that's like a last-ditch effort. That's like, well, we're absolutely 100% going to lose if I go for Battle Fury.
Okay, and if you're in that state, you're probably not in a good position to win
You're not.
anyhow.
But
so.
you should go Battle Fury after that.
Okay.
In case you win a big team fight.
Yeah.
Then you can farm up because you can't farm up fast at all. He has to farm up.
Right. And Battle Fury can come in handy with creep clearing later on once he gets stacked enough.
Well, technically this game he doesn't have to get back Battle Fury because he can constantly get empowered.
Okay.
But you should still get Battle Fury.
You should still get Battle Fury. It's still a damn good item on anti-mage.
It's like not getting Blink on Magnus.
It's his bread and butter. It's like having peanut butter and jelly without the jelly. Then you're just eating a peanut butter sandwich.
Peanut butter sandwiches aren't that bad. I eat them.
They haven't really any. I don't really like peanut butter sandwiches.
You're a hater.
Hater, yeah, hater. I do like peanut butter and apple though. That's what I'm all about. That's been my dessert. Trying to be healthy, you know, get a little bit of the.
It's like Halloween time. Caramelized apples.
Yeah.
He has a cool anti-mage set. He looks like Illidan.
Oh yeah, this is a good set. What set is it? This isn't the burning set.
Shifting Sorcerer. It might be. I think so.
I forget.
Is that thing in the upper right a B, or is that an R? It looks like an R, but it could be a B.
I can't remember.
I have no idea. I think.
Oh yeah,
it says Burning Games
gear.
Watch. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. So this is the burning set. Very cool. Very nice. Oh, a classic anti-mage set. So one of the other things that's scary that we didn't comment on, Guanzo did get his quote-unquote signature clockwork. He's been a big playmaker on this hero throughout the tournament, so that is just a good player-hero combination. And as we've gone back to many a time, clockwork has been the go-to hero throughout this entire event. And he does work well against Nature's Prophet, but we've talked about all the reasons that DNT have a pretty scary draft here. Let's introduce these rosters, though. On the dire side, we do have Team Dignotoss, a.k.a. Team Zerg, or just DNT. We've got Luna up in the top lane, the one position played by #1 himself. Derp will be supporting on the twin-headed dragon Jakiro. In the mid, they will have their stand-in Mobies playing on the Dragon Knight. They've got their jungler Narok on the Enigma, and it will be an off-lane Nature's Prophet. Chicken MC, he's still headed back to the streets, and he's got a Scythe of Ice to go out in good fashion.
He's pimped out.
He is pimped out.
Is it a genuine or auspicious?
Oh, that's a good
question. It's auspicious.
Oh,
yeah, we checked this earlier.
Oh, yeah, he's a poser.
Wow, he actually didn't have full mana, too. So looking at his mana, he has deficit 260 mana. So he didn't actually get full mana after his first cast.
Wow.
So that is not value.
That hurts.
It means he doesn't have clarity either. So that means he can't cast a second cast, which means he can't block the 2-minute spawn, which is not very good for them.
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him. It will be a tri-lane on the Radiant side. Pat Soul in the one position on Anti-Mage. He'll be supported by Willez on the Rubik. Classic supporting down bottom as well on the Visage in the mid lane. 2014. Actually not sure who that is playing on the Magnus.
OS.
Is that? Oh, that's OS.
Always OS.
He always changes his name. You're right. It's always OS mid, and I've had this problem.
Oh, Chicken MC about to go back to the fountain.
Yeah, he's walking around. All three heroes trying to make a great escape here. He cuts through the trees. Does get blocked a little bit. A few more auto attacks ought to finish it off.
Oh, he went around. That's over. Yeah. Like he can maybe hope that AM like screws with his blink or like isn't too aggressive, but well, Pat Soul with first blood on anti-mage, that will be 600 gold to his name, but his CS is actually poor at 2 creep kills. But that is not that big of a deal because securing that first blood is huge. Now Chicken MC looks like he has TP back then. Now he has full. Oh no, not full mana.
Almost. Why
he has a TP scroll this time.
Okay,
so
well,
this is a little bit better.
Yeah, so it'll just be on the Rubik to interrupt. After the telekinesis, he may have an opportunity to pour it out. And last but not least, we do have Guanzo up in the top lane playing on Clockwork, as I mentioned. So good news for Osiris to get things rolling. As we've talked about with a hard carry, if you have a good early game, well, that usually means the rest of the match will sort of go your way. When you have one of these weak laners like Anti-Mage, Spectre, what have you.
This isn't the same, though, because they have such a strong push. So if Anti-Mage gets ahead, he has to be like really far ahead in order to break the push. So it's going to be up to his teammates in like that crucial 15 to 25 minute mark, maybe even like 12 to 25 minute mark, where Anti-Mage isn't quite online yet, but Dire will be putting on the pressure.
And in the mid lane, it seems to be a fairly even spread. The 10-3 Magnus versus the 13-3 Dragon
Chicken
Knight.
MC is invis. He's playing a little bit cheekily. They have a sentry ward, though. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, they actually caught a glimpse of him. I think he walked into the range. And they also have a ward up on the rune, so they know exactly what's going on. And they are ready to hop all over Chicken MC if he steps too far forward, but he will play it safe and heads back to the lane.
Yep, his invis will pop in just a few seconds. Looking at levels for the offlaners, Chicken MC is almost level 3 on that Nature's Prophet. Guanzo is level 3.5, so he is faring slightly better. Looking at the carries, we have how many CS? 14 CS on the Luna, 12 CS on the Anti-Mage, so they're about even. And now Magnus has caught up in mid. They were both 16 CS, so looks like everything is break-even except for the slight disparity in the off lanes.
But DNT do have an experience edge because of that Enigma in the jungle. As long as your lanes don't get totally worked, you do have a slightly more efficient lineup here, unlocking that experience.
It won't be a Battle Fury rush. So Anti-Mage is either going for Midas or Treads first. I'm not sure which.
Okay. How is Midas on Anti-Mage? That's not a build we see too often.
It's decent. If you can get it in like 5 minutes, you'll probably get your Battle Fury around the same time, or maybe like 30 seconds to a minute later. But against a push strat, you might
want to think twice about that one.
You might just want to get Treads and Battle Fury.
Isn't it kind of overkill a little bit? We'll hold that thought as Guanzo in some trouble up top. Chicken MC does port up, and not enough damage, but they do harass him back out of lane. Almost a kill right there. Luna not nearby to use that level 2 Lucent Beam, but it seems like almost overkill to go Midas into Battle Fury. That's so much investment in farming.
I mean, if you're good at farming though, it gives you a lot of levels too, so that you can get max spell shield or max HP and stats, so that you can do more damage too. It's not that bad. I'm a fairly big proponent of Midas though, depending on how the game's going.
All right, RT.
But he has
slow
Treads.
down.
He has Treads.
Yeah, he did go the Tread build first.
They're waiting for Chicken MC to TP in, and he is going to get screwed, and they're going to lose their tower if he TPs in, so he better think twice.
Yeah, they were smoked up as well, camping out that bottom regeneration rune for Magnus, hoping that the Dragon Knight would poke his head down, but he did not fall for the bait.
Not going to come. He just used his last bit of mana on summoning some Nature's Call Treants.
And now this top tower will start taking some damage. That Liquid Fire, Jakiro level 3, a 1/1/1 build, so at least doing some extra damage to the tower. And they will pressure the bottom tier 1 as well. So this looks like it will be a tower for tower exchange, but Guanzo's in some trouble. Enigma rotates in. Malphus to start it off. The Ice Field, or Ice Path rather, is enough to secure the kill onto Clockwork. And it will be a 1-for-1 tower exchange. Anti-Mage gets the bottom tier 1, and the Creeps get the top tier 1 here for the Dire side.
Yeah, Pat Soul doing very well. 30 last hits on 3 heroes, Luna, Anti-Mage, and Magnus combined, but net worth, AM still ahead because of that first blood, and I don't think that Chicken MC and the rest of Dignotoss are going to stop. They have the Eidolons, they don't have enough mana for Nature's Call, but they have the Aura, and there it goes, Rubik with Fade Bolt. That will be enough to quell at least this wave, and there's Eidolons up. Let's see if he heads back. Nope, he does not. So he's looking for his level 6. Magnus, let's check his farm because his Blink is going to be crucial in defending these later towers. 2,000 gold away. He has his Arcane Boots, though.
Yeah, not close to the blink, but his early farm is looking pretty solid here. Dragon Knight does have a Bracer, and what's coming on the Courier, that will just be his bottle. No power treads up quite yet. I think Dragon Knight will be best suited to grab a Shadow Blade here. Is that what you're thinking?
BKB.
No?
BKB for team
first?
Fight. Okay. It depends on what they want to do. If they want to push, he gets BKB. If they want to try to get Luna bigger than AM and kill the AM, then he gets Shadow Blade. So it depends on how they want to take it. I think either build is fine. If Anti-Mage is doing a really good job of split pushing, then they probably want a Shadow Blade.
Makes sense. And Patsoul now has a Ring of Hell, so it appears he will go into Battle Fury following those early power treads. And with that last hit on the tower, he is still number 1 on the net worth chart by about 400 gold, and will still be able to get a timely Battle Fury. But I worry about the actual time. Whoa, in the mid lane, Dragon Knight actually gets converged on by Rubik and Magnus. My apologies, he burned the RP as well and secured that kill.
This is pretty good for Osiris. I did not expect them to have, like, break even in the early game. Break even is a win for them. So the longer they can delay these pushes, the better. And they also can't get caught out by a big black hole. But Enigma also did not skill black hole at level 6. That is unusual.
That is very unusual. I guess he opted for that. I'm not sure if he had Eidolons or Malphus at level 3 when he was level 5, but interesting. I guess looking for a little bit more team fight, a little bit more pushing, but it don't get much more team fight than the black hole. That is really strange. Maybe they're going to wait for the mech to come online before they start going for the team fight 5-man pushes.
Looks like Patsoul went for a kill on bottom. He did use his Mana Void, but unable to get that kill on Nature's Prophet. Looks like he's very close to his Perseverance if he wants to buy that right now. Magnus has 1,200 gold after that gank, so that gank just put him really far ahead in terms of net worth over Dragon Knight.
Yeah, already. Look at that. There's a pretty big lead on the Anti-Mage as well as the Magnus over the Luna and Dragon Knight on the Dire side. And after that, things start to fall off just a little bit. Clockwork, he's still struggling in farm a bit, but he is all right. He is at least level 6 now, so Hookshot is online. And he can feel free to start moving around the map, maybe secure some kills here and there. All in all, we've got a pretty quiet early game. A Haste Rune will spawn at the bottom position at the 8-minute mark. There will be a battle for it. Magnus heads down. He skewers forward, but a nice deny from Chicken MC will prevent him from filling up the bottle.
Yep. Now he starts on some Ancient, so he's going to catch back up on farm very easily. He has 1,000 gold after his goes with Haste, so he'll have his Midas coming out. This game is all about items, so can Magnus get Blink? Can Luna get her farm on? Can Nature's Prophet get big too so he can contend with the Magnus? And can Anti-Mage out-carry the Luna? So can the team stack? I haven't seen too many stacks. This is a double stack right here. And the Ancients are not stacked at all. What about for the Dire? Looks like this small camp is double stacked, but that's about it. So no hidden gold in the works.
Right. And Anti-Mage actually getting pretty close to this Battle Fury. He's now in free farm heaven as Chicken MC has moved into the Ancients and pretty much left the lane. He's got the Perseverance, another 1,000 in the bank, so he's really not too far away. He's looking on point for like an 11-minute Battle Fury or so, considering he went Power Treads first. That's pretty darn good.
That's really good. I think like 12 minutes is good without treads, with just brown boots.
Yeah.
And then 11 minutes with treads is really good. I think he'll get it a little after 11.
But we have to remember, he did get first blood, and he also got the last hit on that tower. So, yep, there was a smoke from Enigma as well as Jakiro. Hook shot in, the skewer back. He does burn the RP on those two heroes. Derp and Narok taking a lot of damage. The black hole comes out, but only channels for about half a second. Enigma falls. Magnus gets picked off, but they also secure the kill onto the Jakiro. Rubik will buy back as he fell in the fray. It's a 2-for-2 so far. And that's where the fight will settle down. Willez maybe pulling the trigger on that buyback a bit prematurely.
Yeah, at the same time, it's a Rubik. If you want a hero to buy back, he's probably the least important to do so, besides the Visage. So it's not the end of the world. And on the flip side, Magnus, he is 200 gold away from his blink. That was a nice skewer, though. He had very little time to react, and he got a skewer RP off right before Enigma casts his black hole. Clockwork was able to hookshot, dump some more damage into him, and they killed Enigma during his black hole because of that battery assault.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem when you pick an Enigma into a Clockwork. If you catch him in the black hole and he already has battery assault on, you run the risk of catching one of those little mini stuns, and, well, your black hole is having a bad time. So now, even though it was a 2-for-2, maybe not the most cost-effective exchange for Osiris because of the buyback, they know black hole is going to be on cooldown for at least another 2 minutes, and they can feel a little bit more safe. It appears DNT do want to start their pushing, though. They will group up as 4 in the mid lane. Some Treants come out.
They need Rubik there.
Tower will start taking heavy pressure.
Yeah, they need Rubik there for the Fable. Fable, Shockwave, there's no creep there.
Yep. Hook shot, looking to be lined up here by Guanzo. He is on the high ground. And there we go. He does have the hook shot off cooldown. Just looking for the opening.
Boom, there it goes.
They could take a decent initiation here. Interesting build from Clockwork as well. He did go Rocket Flare primary instead of Battery Assault, which is
the anti-push, man.
A little different. Yeah, the anti-push, you're right.
It's imperative that they stop these pushes, and Rubik was there with his brief fire as well as the shockwave, and the push has been stopped. They're buying more time for Anti-Mage. He will have his Battle Fury very, very soon, except he's about to die.
They will smoke into him. Pat
He knows. He knows.
He knows. Blink in time.
Wow, with this ward right here, this ward spotted him out. The ring is right here. They got spotted out right here. That was just so close to him dying.
Yeah, so, but with that 4-man push mid completely repelled, this is all wasted time right now. Anti-Mage is in free farm heaven. He's got the first part of the Battle Fury up. Yeah, there's the Claymore already picked up on the Courier. So he is dangerously close at this point, just about 500 gold away. Won't be that 11-minute mark that I was talking about, but still great timing, and he'll start to take off. Number 1 on the net worth chart still by a decent margin over that Luna, though she's been pretty quiet as well. She hasn't been joining in the pushes, does have her Helm of the Dominator up first, and now has a Blade of Alacrity, so we'll be moving into Yasha, not a fast BKB coming for the Moonrider.
Anti-Mage looking to get some farm on. They have warded the magic push again. This will block 2 spawns. And looks like a Clockwork Rocket Flare is coming out, and still Dignotoss is wasting a ton of time, and this time it's with the Luna too. So Luna's farm is going to be hindered quite some bit, and they do have a Satyr trying to stack up this ancient camp, although I believe she just got her HODs, so she's also going for a no BKB build, and that is dangerous. That is a
Oh, RP used in the mid lane. And it will connect only on the Nature's Prophet. Skewer off the mark as well, but there's an illusion rune. Rubik using that Breathe Fire he stole, secures the kill on top of the Nature's Prophet. Now they want this Rubik. He may die to the dot from the Dragon Knight Elder form. Now Guanzo joining the fray. He will catch Derp inside of the cogs. Rubik comes in, and he will finish off the Jakiro as well. Interesting now. Enigma in some trouble. They secure the kill with the Shockwave. This is just a disaster for DNT. It ends up being a 3-for-0 exchange. And down bottom.
Wow, what happened to the Eclipse? He casted Eclipse, he didn't kill anybody, and it looks like Classic only took like 300 damage. So maybe he got fogged or something like that, but that should not happen at nighttime.
Wow, Dragon Knight hangs around as well. As I was looking at the Rubik, he'll get finished off. A 4-for-0 exchange. Even the Rubik survives.
What a disaster. They're... Well, firstly, they're forcing issue too much, but at the same time, Osiris is doing a really good job at defending against his pushes. Magnus is always there to spam out shockwaves, and they can't even get the mid and T1 bottom tower. If they can't do that, they can't limit AM farm in the jungle. And if Luna's joining them in the fray too, that means she is going to be far, far behind. Looking at the net worth right now, AM has pulled ahead by about 1,100, and this is before his Battle Fury. Now he has his Battle Fury. Now his farm is going to ramp up quite
Radiant's bottom tower
Absolutely. And you're right about Osiris. They've done a good job not only defending, but defending with 4. Anti-Mage hasn't even joined any of these fights, and they're still able to hold off. I mean, they just did a 4-for-0 exchange in a 4v5. Anti-Mage was nowhere nearby. That just shows the power of Osiris already in this match. Let's glance at the gold graph. A 2,000 lead following that fight, and just about a 4,000 experience lead here at the 14-minute mark. So they are in good shape to get things started.
Yep, they are indeed. Pet Soul, 1,000 gold. This is almost certainly a Manta game. Yeah, I don't see why not. And they're just going to buy time. They haven't stacked the Ancients, though. That's the one thing that I think that they could be doing better. But aside from that, Osiris is just playing really well.
Yeah, Anti-Mage will move into this little cubby here on the high ground above the Dire Ancients. And they will get cleared out, so he's not going to have an opportunity to take them out.
If Luna gets RP, she is so dead. She has 800 HP.
Yeah,
like,
she does have a Yasha now, but
there's like no way she's surviving that.
Yeah.
Like even Dragon Knight, like he has 1,400 HP and he still dies. So Luna is just gonna get trucked.
Yeah, I don't know about this build to go Helm of Dominator straight into Yasha.
That's greedy.
So squishy.
You can't. I don't think that she can. She can't farm as fast as an AM just because of the blink. Like, they both have similar farming utility with the Glaives and Battle Fury right now and whatnot. But as it stands, like, Anti-Major is going to be way far ahead. Combine that with Empower and combine that with the RP. I think RP is generally stronger than Enigma's Black Hole in this particular situation. Firstly, they have Clockwork. Secondly, everybody can interrupt the Black Hole. I guess Magnus would probably have a tougher time, but he can still interrupt it. And thirdly, he doesn't have a BKB, and he needs a BKB. Magnus doesn't.
Yeah, Enigma did not go for a BKB first. He does have the mech complete, which is good news, but it's going to be a long way off. Narok here, grabbing his Black King bar. He's only got 300 gold in the bank, so I don't know that DNT want to sit back and farm long enough for Enigma to be able to grab a BKB.
I don't think that Enigma was the right pick here. I think they could have used a better jungler, like a Chen or something like that, but I don't know if Narok can actually play those. We have seen him play Enigma multiple times, but there's a time and a place, and this was not... It doesn't seem like it's the game. He could prove me wrong, though.
Yeah, there's always potential for big black holes, but it's going to be difficult here. I think he just needs a BKB, and the problem is if they sit back and farm that long, Anti-Mage is going to have so much room. He's already getting out of control. Yep. And that will just make things even more difficult for him. Now we see Osiris actually the ones being the aggressors, moving into the tier 1 tower mid. We see Osiris himself ready and eager to drop another RP.
That was a nice Breathe Fire. If he didn't Breathe Fire there, he would have been blink skewered after the familiar stun. So it was pretty important that he got that off.
Yep. Chicken MC now joins the fight as well. This is a 4-man grouping from DNT. Luna is still bottom, pressuring this bottom tier 2 tower. Pardon me, this top tier 2 tower. And where this fight will settle down. It's actually a 4v4 in the mid, as Anti-Mage does defend the push coming from Luna.
Yep, he has his Yasha. So looking at net worth, 8,700 for him, 1,300 behind him on the Luna. Gap was only 1,000 sometime before. So slowly but surely, AM's going to pull ahead. Another thing to consider in the AM versus Luna battle is that AM can wield a Basher. Luna almost never gets Basher, so she can just get abyssal to the face later. So yeah. I'm pretty scared for Dignotoss.
Yeah, the gold graph, though, actually isn't that bad. With the way Anti-Mage has been farming, I thought they'd continue to move in their favor, but only 1,000 gold lead, 1,000 experience lead. It is getting slightly better for our Dire side on that front. But Osiris just keeping them busy in the mid lane. We see Osiris himself in the front lines, looking for an opportunity to hop forward. Does now have the level 2 RP as well.
Chicken MC is also going for a Shadow Blade instead of a Scythe, so it's going to be a long time before they can actually handle this Anti-Mage and counter his split push. No Shadow Blade in sight for Dragon Knight. He's actually going for BKB, so they really have no tools to stop him from free farming.
Yeah, and it seems they don't have a lot of tools to deal with the pushing power now as well. They have that Wombo combo if they can line it up, but they'll just sacrifice this tower mid. Or will they? The glyph comes out, blink back from Magnus, and Rubik comes in. That's the end of the tier 1 tower. Visage does finish it off with the birds. And that is definitely good news for Osiris. They will actually take the pushing edge right now, 2-1 in total tower count, which is always a scary proposition against the team with so much pushing synergy in their lineup.
Clockwork closing in on that Acceptor too, so looking at items, Classic closing on the mech. He is only level 6 though, so that is not that great for him. Rubik, he's actually closing it out in Blink after that buyback on the side of Dire. Derp has nothing. Nayrok has his mech, but nothing after that. Mobies is relatively close to his BKB. Just needs about 1,000 gold. Luna working on that Manta style or perhaps Butterfly. Chicken MC, he has Shadow Blade and 200 gold. So all in all, I think it's just going to be another passive like 10 minutes, but this is going to work against Dignotoss.
Anti-Mage is no doubt the hardest carry here in this game, so I think Osiris will be happy to sit back and continue farming. Though, with that said, they will get a little bit aggressive here. Smoke used by the Rubik as well as the Magnus. And they will move through the river, perhaps rotating into the jungle. I'm not sure where they're going to go from here. Visage Familiars are also smoked as well. And, well, they will just move around, actually. I don't think they're going to be able to achieve too much with this smoke.
Yep, I don't think so either.
Kind of an odd...
It was an odd smoke to begin with because Dignotoss hasn't really been putting pressure on them. They haven't been ganking, so if they're trying to bait out Classic, that's not going to work because they're not going to bite. And if they bait out Anti-Mage, that might work, but at the same time, Anti-Mage is just farming away. It looks like they will counter both the T-push and mid. I think this tower is more important for Radiant than that tower is for Dire, so they need to defend it. This tower is like the gateway to their jungle, and it also is important for Roshan control.
Well, Magnus will clear up the creep wave pretty well, and that actually repels the pushing from DNT. They'll back up as Magnus joins the fray. And this top tier 1 tower will take some pressure from Guanzo. But a port from Luna will repel him as well. Nature's Prophet ports up, looking for an opening, doesn't find it. And that's it. No towers will fall in that little skirmish.
Oh, Luna is going BKB next, actually.
Oh, Osiris misses the skewer on the Dragon Knight.
No harm, no foul, though. Yeah, this tower is more important, though, than the T1 on top. I'm glad they didn't trade because they know that, like, that's just the beginning. Like, once you lose this tower, this bottom tower becomes harder to defend. Once you lose both those towers, your jungle is harder to defend, and AM can't farm. They have to keep those towers up.
Yeah. And even Roshan as well for the Radiant.
Roshan is super important.
That's their big access point to get to Rosh.
It was a good move by Dignotoss to try and trade, though.
Yeah.
Not all T1 towers are created equal.
Yeah. And there was still a glyph available on the Radiant side, so they had a little bit of a buffer, a higher margin for error. Nayrok, though, on the Enigma, looking better in terms of his farm. He does have about 1,900 in the bank. He's already picked up his brown boots and the mech, so if he wants to grab BKB next, well, he's at least part way there, and we'll have it before too long. Though, with that said, Patsol just continuing to get scary. Manta Style is now up, his first core item after the Battle Fury. And he's also level 15. He's now the highest level in the game and about halfway to getting that level 3 Mana Void. Guanzo does connect with a hook shot onto Chicken MC. Great job scouting him out on the high ground there, and they take a free kill on the Nature's Prophet. Magnus finishes him off with a shockwave.
Yep, nicely played. And Nature's Prophet just not having that big of an impact. It's not a Nature's Prophet type of game, though. There aren't like small engagements occurring everywhere that he can just turn the tides on. But it looks like they will get the T1 finally in mid, so... Oh, no, maybe not. They're glyphing. They want to defend this.
Glyph comes out. Double damage rune is up on the Dragon Knight, so he'll be able to finish it off. Magnus, or pardon me, Rubik showing off that new Blink Dagger he's picked up. Does pull Moby's back. Now Osiris standing in the Macro Pyre. Needs to be a little careful here. Does have an RP available. Uses it to finish off the Jakiro. They also get the Dragon Knight as well. Nature's Prophet buys back into the game, though I don't know he'll be able to do too much with it. Great exchange for Osiris.
I don't know. That T1 tower cost him a lot, too. And if the Dragon Knight didn't die, maybe it'd be worth it. Actually, Dragon Knight has his BKB completed, so that's not too bad. But they will lose a T2 tower in exchange. And Luna, meanwhile, still free farming. She might get the T2. I'm top? I don't think
Radiant's
so.
top tower is under attack.
She may be able to. It depends how
Dire's
quickly
middle
they want to
tower
retreat.
has
Rubik
fallen.
did steal Elder Dragon form too, which is not too shabby for what they want to achieve in terms of pushing. Total tower count now is vastly in favor of Osiris. They're up 4-2 right now.
This is a risky Roshan. Luna and Dragon Knight both have BKBs, and they don't have RP. I don't think it's the right time to do Roshan.
Nature's Prophet ports to the bottom lane. Guanzo, he does hook shot in, connects with the Luna, throws some cogs to try and zone him out. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. Gets stuck inside the Sprout, does take a Lucent Beam. He'll get completely surrounded by Treants, and Luna does secure the kill. So a noble effort from Guanzo, but unfortunately it just ends up being a feed, and they get the tower anyway.
That was just a feed.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was hoping just to hop in, power cog, push him back, and then just retreat to the tower. But
Maybe a TP. I think if Pat Soul had TP, they would have crushed him because he can just tank the clips with Blink and Manta.
Yeah,
but
he had no way to deal with the Sprout. Once he was stuck inside, he got surrounded and just had no exit strategy.
Yeah, almost. He should go for a 4-step next.
Well, with that, DNT will now move into Roche. They'll smoke in actually, and it will be a 5-man exchange or engage here. I think this will be a free Roche. Osiris don't have visual confirmation, and they also just don't have any way to get there fast enough. Roche will fall relatively quickly. And there it goes.
Yeah, that's the thing. You make one mistake, and Dire takes Roshan. You make one mistake if you're Dire, and Radiant doesn't take Roshan because they don't have quite as strong of a lineup for it. No summons for it. No lifesteal yet. If they had Vlad, they could have done it right there. But yeah, that's the power of the Dignotoss lineup.
Absolutely right. 11-4 now, still about a 4,000 gold lead, 2,500 experience lead for Osiris, and that gold lead will jump up a little bit more here as Pat Soul finishes off yet another tower in the top lane. Only one outer tower remaining for the Dire side. And speaking of the Dire side, they will group up with that shiny new Aegis and pressure the bottom tier 1. It looks like Osiris do want to make a hold. There is a BKB up on the Magnus now. He does have an RP available
Okay,
as
well, that was a wasted Aegis.
Yeah. Luna will fall. He'll come back up. BKB's popped now. And RP has already been burned. There's the black hole coming out from Enigma, but it's just not enough. It gets interrupted right away. Magnus falls, but the Enigma goes down shortly
black
after.
hole! The Dragon Knight!
The turn!
Wow. Did you see that Dragon Knight casting black hole? I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Wow. A 4-for-1. Great play by the Rubik. Anti-Mage comes in with that Battle Fury and just chops him up, turns him into a stew, and eats him for breakfast. What a hold. Well, the tower does fall, so not technically a hold, but boy, was that a convincing team fight.
Luna just fed her Aegis. She was like walking up hoping to bait an RP, and no, they're like, oh, if you're not going to use BKB, we're just going to kill you with magic damage. And that's exactly what they did. And then after that, there was a nice black hole interrupt by the Clockwork coming in from behind, getting the right angle, stopping that black hole, and then the steal by the Rubik, who is in Dragon Knight form. I think Dignotoss thought he was one of his own. Their own. Like, he didn't really channel it. He's like just like flapping his wings.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird. I didn't quite catch it at first. I saw the second black hole, but I had the same problem. It took me a moment seeing the Dragon Knight sort of. It's just weird. You're not used to seeing those graphics put together, but
yeah,
pretty incredible
Willows
plays.
with the big plays, big plays.
And that's one of the reasons why you don't really pick Enigma into Rubik. You mentioned it straight away. This is a risky choice.
Unless you have like a super badass Enigma.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like he's an average Enigma. He's not super badass. He's just decent.
Yeah, well, and as you mentioned, Osiris have a lot of abilities to deal with the black hole, so it's easy to get interrupted. I think the clutchest play from Rubik was actually stealing it from the Enigma before he died, because Enigma got dropped like he was hot.
He was looking for
it.
They were all looking for it. Clockwork was looking for it. Rubik was looking for it. So kudos to these supports. That was just a really good play. Also, Magnus had his BKB too. If he didn't have BKB, the fight would not have gone that way. He would have been stun locked by Dragon Knight and then just died in that. So it was really important that he had that.
Well, Anti-Mage is now the huge breadwinner. He's 18,000 on the net worth chart. Luna only at 13.5, so an obvious disparity there. He had a BKB right before that fight started.
He one-shot the Eidolons.
Already a 3.2k little nest egg there just sitting in the bank. This is one rich Anti-Mage, Merlini. And, uh-oh, he could be possibly in a little bit of trouble here. No, maybe it's Magnus that's in some trouble. Whoa, what a long skewer. He does make it down to the low ground. Pat Soul, he's just going ham on the Dire team. He'll pop the BKB, just needs to start using those right clicks. Will go toe-to-toe with the Luna, and he will be forced to blink backwards. Now, BKB popped by the Magnus. Visage did manage to pick off the Nature's Prophet somewhere as we were watching that exchange. Guanzo hook shots in to try and buy some time for Pat Soul, and he achieves that goal. Now Moby's caught on the low ground, separated from the team. Macro Pyre comes out, but just doesn't do much damage. Rubik gets picked off in the fray as well. This Dragon Knight finally falls as Magnus hops forward, and uses the shockwave.
There's an RP available.
Uh-oh, he's trying to get it. He does. Derp as well as one. Both caught inside of it. Derp will fall, but it costs Magnus his life. Now Anti-Mage reinitiates. Enigma falls. The BKB Luna will have a couple seconds to stand, but it's just not enough. Patsoul man's up, and they clean him up. A 2-for-5 exchange. It's looking good for Team Osiris.
Looking good for those rares, too.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah.
30-70. Come on. Really? Like, that was... I thought the other one was lopsided. It was like
60,
40.
63, 37.
Yeah, and I thought it should have been like closer to even or 60-40, but this one I think is like Osiris is just... They just are a better team, at least in the mid game, and the mid game is really what this game has come down to, because Dignotoss was unable to push, and they just let Osiris get huge. Now look at AM. It was first a 1,000 cap, then a 1,400, then a 2,000, like at several like 5-minute increments. Now it's a 5,000 lead, and this was after Luna had the Aegis too. So she just needs so much more help than Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage like. What is he going to get now? Heart, Butterfly, Abyssal, any of those, and he would
probably
just crush,
a Basher would be my guess, and then just move into an Abyssal. That will make cutting through the BKB easy, and yep, there it is. Skull Basher comes out. Any other big items picked up following that fight? Magnus, well, he's had his BKB, has another 2,000 sitting in the bank. What's Guanzo working towards? He went a fast Ag Scepter, does also have a Gem of True Sight, and now a Plate Mail, so probably a Shiva's coming in on the Clockwork, but I suppose could also be an Assault Karas. And a Force Staff now up on Rubik. And Visage did complete his mech with another 1,600 in the bank, so probably working towards that Ag Scepter next, though. Not really too close to finishing it up. On the Dire side, Luna just going Ultra Squishmaster, now moving into a Butterfly. Does have the Eagle Song and a Talisman of Evasion, so reasonably close to completing it, but I worry. I just don't know if that's going to be enough.
It isn't. Not with an Empower. Like, he does so much more damage. He does 270 damage right now. 277 damage without Empower. So with Empower, he's looking at like that 350 range. And Luna does 230. So he's doing like 50% more damage than Luna right now. And on top of that, his is like Super Cleave. Not just regular Cleave, it's Super Cleave.
Super Cleave.
It's Super Cleave, man.
Well, there will be a 5-man smoke from Osiris.
Let's see the Super Cleave in action.
Actually, a 4-man smoke, pardon me, as they hop forward here. He tries to initiate forward, takes a Dragon Tail before the BKB comes out, but BKBs have already been popped by the Dragonite and Luna, so even if they disengage, that's a victory. BKBs will be on cooldown for another minute, and they're happy with that. Nature's Prophet starts to pressure the top Tier 3 tower at the base, but Anti-Mage ports back, and that will just end up being some free gold to this Battle Fury Anti-Mage.
Chicken MC is very close to the Scythe of Vice, so maybe they can try and catch Anti-Mage off guard with that and maybe get a kill since he went for a more offensive build. Oh, looks like Narok's in a lot of trouble, though.
Magnus does have a haste rune on, will get caught inside of a Sprout. Narok ports out straight away. Chicken MC not out of the clear. He'll try and port out as well. Guanzo burns the hook shot to interrupt, and that's a dead Nature's Prophet.
So much for the Scythe of Vice. He had his Mystic Step right there.
Yeah. And now this may make for an easy push. Patsoul is right now 7-0-2. That shows how little pressure has come his way throughout this game. And part of the reason why he is just out of control.
21,000 net worth. 350 last hits in 30 minutes. That is ridiculous.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's more than a lot.
Yeah, 8 creeps a minute is about like average, I'd say, for carries at this point in the game, because only 8 creeps spawn a wave, so you're like doing decently if you're at that. If you're at 10, you're farming really well. If you're anything above 10 creeps a minute, then you're doing incredibly well.
You're out of control.
You're out of control.
Some good metrics there, Merlini. And Enigma does have a Black Hole available, also does have a Blink. Opted for the Blink before BKB, has an Ogre Club up, another 1,800 in the bank, but still a little ways off that magic immunity. They will have some initiation power here. Osiris not out of the clear yet, but oh no, the Dragonite gets caught straight away as Guanzo hook shots in. That's the BKB. RP comes in as well. Does catch 2. Narok looking for the big hole. Actually gets mana burned by the cogs. Now he gets stunned. He'll channel the black hole, but doesn't do much. Patsoul gets crowd control.
It's been stolen.
He will actually fall. Rubik once again with the huge plays. He catches all of them inside the black hole. The follow-up damage isn't quite there, but they secure some kills perhaps. Rubik actually does fall in the fray, and now we see Osiris on the defensive. The Radiant side just gets completely scraped up. They kill the Enigma. He buys back all 5. Dead on the Radiant.
I actually don't like the Basher pickup here, just because they have so many like initial disables. First, they have to burn through the BKBs on the Dragon Knight as well as the Luna. Secondly, they have to deal with the Black Hole, and after that, he can really start doing damage. But he needs to survive. He wasn't able to get his Mana Void off that fight, and that's a pretty significant source of damage. And Luna just picked up her BKB right before too, so I think he could have waited for one more item or at least an Abyssal before he started pushing. Also, once the Scythe of Vice comes out on Nature's Prophet, he's actually very vulnerable to physical damage.
Yeah, and that was the point I was trying to make before that fight. They're ahead, but they're not out of the clear yet. Anytime you're against an Enigma, there's that opportunity to have things turned around. It was a great steal by the Rubik, but
he
unfortunately...
blinked into the cogs, too.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a total win for Osiris, but they were also going deep. They were, like, closer to T4s.
Yeah, they just didn't need to initiate it quite like that. It wasn't a bad way to start off the fight with the Clockwork hookshot in on Dragon Knight. They forced out the BKB straight away, but... definitely an overcommit. I think Anti-Mage should have tried to hang back just a little. He got caught in the ice path as well from the Jakiro.
Yeah, he can get melted during his BKB. That's his big problem right now. Like, during BKB, you need to be able to put out tons of damage like the Luna is doing, but right now he just can't. His Manta images kind of crumble to Luna's glaives, and BKB actually takes off in power, too, so he's not doing super cleave damage.
Yeah, that just would have been a much different fight if Patzol had been a little bit more defensive, waited for the other team to commit. If he was alive during that Rubik Black Hole, I think that would have been a wipe the other way. Yeah. But unfortunately, they just didn't have the damage. You saw the Black Hole, everyone stopped, but the RP was already burned, Anti-Mage dead. That's your damage right there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, Clockwork goes in, he baits out all the spells, he has Shiva, so he's going to survive for quite some time, although he doesn't have BKB. And then you wait out the BKBs because they're relatively low at this point in time. 6 seconds on the Luna. Dragon Knight's is 6 seconds as well, so yep. That's a full duration of Black Hole almost.
Well, Dragon Knight working towards an Assault Kuros now. Does have Hyperstone and Plate Mail already in the inventory. Narok, unfortunately, not much closer to his BKB than he was before that fight, as he was forced to buy back. That is important to note. So Enigma will have his buyback on cooldown coming up in this next engage. Only 30 seconds left on the Black Hole. There will be a smoke from DNT inside the base. Everyone except Chicken MC is smoked up. Roshan is respawned. Osiris goes straight for it. Anti-Mage in the pit, just chipping away at Roche. And I don't know if they're actually going to take the path to Roche.
There's a smoke.
No, they smoke into the jungle. Oh no, they have no idea that they're
no, he's going to catch off Magnus with the sheep though. He doesn't know that he has a sheep, so he's going to be able to sheep him before BKB.
Oh no, there it is. You're right. Magnus does get sheeped. He's got a double damage rune on as well. Roshan does fall. Anti-Mage does pick up the Aegis. Magnus the first to fall, but he will buy back. Luna with an Eclipse doing some damage here. Patzol focuses down the Enigma. He secures the kill. Guanzo trying to lock that Dragon Knight in place. He will achieve that goal. Magnus, can he get back to this battle, though? Clockwork does get finished off. Anti-Mage forced to blink to the low ground. And that fight ends a 1-for-3, but they secure Roche.
If they fight right now, like, Dignotoss would just get wiped, so they have to back off because of the Magnus buyback. I don't even know if Magnus should have bought back there. If the T1 is up in mid, yeah, you can do that, but without it, you're just wasting your gold. He needs his refresher.
And Patzol also does have an Abyssal Blade up now, which he did drop on Enigma in that fight to secure the kill. But yeah, that's the power of that Tier 1 tower in mid. A huge access point to get to an engage like that. It really would have been different had Magnus been able to port right back into the fight.
Yeah, Anti-Mage, he's still, like, he's only able to kill one person during BKB, and it's on a relatively weak hero. If he can kill Dragon Knight or Luna during his BKB, then that would be huge, but as it stands right now, just barely not enough damage. I mean, I'm saying that right now, and he's at, like, 450. But without it during BKB, it's just a little bit too weak.
Yeah. But he's got another 3.6k gold sitting in the bank right now. Still has the Aegis. That's another good thing from the side of Osiris following that engage. They did not waste the Aegis, so they'll have this opportunity now to pressure into the base if that's what they choose to do. As they are grouped up about the top lane, Patzol will clear out the dire jungle, and we see DNT already turtled up. They're ready for this push to come. They do have Black Hole available, so they have some tools to try and fend off this push if it does come their way, but it looks like Osiris will just continue to clear out the jungle. And they won't get hyper-aggressive here, at least not right now. Did he just burn a BKB?
Yeah.
Oh, Patzol, that's unfortunate. That's another 60 seconds here where they'll be forced to play some defense. And that was a 7-second BKB, so not so good. Bad news here for old AM.
Yep. And he can't pick up another item either until his Aegis expires. But at the same time, you want to fight with your Aegis, so... yeah. Not the best position for him. Luna.
So coming up next, is Heart the right choice here for Anti-Mage?
Heart or Butterfly. Either of those two. Yeah. Heart's better if you get Scythe, but it's most likely going to be Magnus getting Scythe, and Butterfly's a lot more damage, though.
Yeah.
So I think and they're both like, I'd say Heart gives you slightly more survivability. A lot of it is physical damage right now, so evasion is going to be pretty useful.
Yeah, that's true. But they do have the Scythe up on Nature's Prophet, so they have a way to cut through the Butterfly. Yeah, both would be good.
Yeah, I myself would have gotten Heart before over BKB, and because you want them using spells on you. You don't like you can blink in, and if they Dragon Tail you and they start focusing you, just set them up for an RP. So it's okay to tank. You have to survive though. That's the most important thing. So I probably would have just gotten Heart and Butterfly, but he goes for the Basher, and it will pay off later. I think he could have just gotten it later though. Right now he needs MKB versus the Luna too.
Well, they will move forward. This bottom tier 3 taking heavy pressure. It'll go down to about half health before any defense comes its way. Glyph still available. Dragon Knight pops the BKB. Some stuns come out on the anti-mage. Narok, he blinks forward. He's got the black hole ready, but doesn't burn it. Now Magnus comes in with a BKB on. Nature's Prophet will be the first to fall in this fight. Now our Radiant side starting to be on the back foot. They will move out. And anti-mage, he actually blinks into the base, still with the
They don't have BKBs up right now.
Oh, Narok, he'll try to go man mode against Pat, so he burns the BKB and then falls shortly after. That was a bit of a misplay from the anti-mage. He'll pop right back up, but now he's in an awkward position. They know he doesn't have any magic immunity. There's the sheep. They've got plenty of crowd controls. Narok mans up. A big black hole buys them the time that they need. They secure the kill on the anti-mage as well as the Visage. Make it 3 as they finish off the clockwork. Wow, another overcommitment from Osiris. Big misplays coming out from Pat Soul there.
Yeah, he either needed to kill the Enigma or not use his BKB right before he died too. Like, I think he thought he could kill him and then get out, but he doesn't have the survivability. He doesn't have any HP, and that was just the Aegis burned. And another forcing the issue at the T3 when they don't really have to. They can just use an RP for a gank, wait for a buyback, and then just go from there. But like as it stands right now, like I didn't even see any damage fall with the RP. Did you even see the RP?
No.
I don't. I mean, it was on cooldown.
Yeah.
It might have been a RP blink instead of a blink RP, and that's why we might not have seen it.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. I was really focusing on anti-mage that entire fight. He does have enough gold for buyback. Also important to note that Nature's Prophet did buy back in that fight, so his buyback is on cooldown now. As they press forward, anti-mage and Clockwork will burn their buybacks as well. There is a glyph available for the Radiant side. Derp steps way too far forward. He'll take some heavy damage. Guanzo hops out of the base. And we'll use that Shiva's. Oh no, DNT may be overcommitting here. There's the Mana Void, and they will finish off the Luna. So it is a 2-for-0. The buybacks are worth it at present.
Oh, he doesn't have a TP scroll. He is screwed.
Yeah, he's out of mana, no TP. There's no way you're making this escape. The hook shot actually off the mark. Ice Path comes, but doesn't really do much other than buy Moby's a couple of seconds at best. Skewer, telekinesis, they'll chase him down to the ends of the earth, and down he goes. Now there are buybacks available on the Dire side if Osiris want to try and push. Luna most importantly has it, though Dragon Knight does not. So they may have an opportunity actually just to press forward and try and take out this.
They need to do it fast though.
And there's actually still a glyph available. They didn't burn it in that last team fight.
Patzel needs to spend his gold though. Like if they want to make a push and force the issue at the T3, he has to spend his gold. And it looks like he just bought something. It looks like he will be going for a butterfly.
Yeah, there it is. And does he have enough to finish it off
he
here?
Can just
Very close.
After this wave.
Yep, he'll have enough for the Eagle Song. And it's the right choice. He won't have buyback for another 5 minutes, so you might as well spend that gold while you can.
Magnus isn't there. They can't push.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not there. I mean, he was pushing out the lane, but I guess Chicken MC was over there. They have to force out something from this. At least get the T3 at the minimum. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
If they can force out the glyph, that will be something. The Ice Path comes. Tower takes some heavy damage. Macro Pyre burned already. There's the glyph. Luna and DK up in 10 seconds. They don't want to buy back at this point, and they will at least secure the tower kill. Narok does not have a black hole available. Takes a hook shot to the face, and he'll get dropped like he's hot to start off this fight. Now Luna's up, as is the Dragon Knight, but Enigma's down, and Chicken MC takes a nuke from the Visage. They will not overcommit this time, though. Maybe Classic hanging around a bit too long. No, they reinitiate a big RP as Magnus joins the battle. A 3-man skewer out of the base. Jakiro first to fall. Down goes the Dragon Knight. Luna goes down shortly after. Jakiro will buy back straight away, but they're now in big trouble. They've got 2 dead, all 5 alive on Osiris, and Anti-Mage just doing some serious damage at this point. Doesn't have the BKB available. Gets caught in an Ice Path. The bottom lane of Rax have fallen. Luna back in the fray. He pops her BKB. She'll stand her ground. There's the Eclipse. And will secure a kill onto the Visage, doing some damage to the Rubik as well as the Magnus. But
Anti-Mage died again.
Wow. He overcommitted. Oh, no. They're going to get cleaned up. Magnus falls. Rubik gets taken out. The Clockwork walks away with just a few hit points to spare. What is this game,
Patsoul, he didn't focus the Luna. The Luna was being controlled so well. She had already used her Manta too, and Clockwork hookshot her and was battery assaulting her, as well as a Soul Assumption come out on her. She was half HP, and instead he was focusing like the THD and the Nature's Prophet in the back. If they have focused the Luna right there, it's game over because she just bought back. And they can probably get 2 sets of racks with that. But instead, they're going to be forced to fight in base without a buyback on Anti-Mage. And this, yeah, he's just been putting in his team in a terrible position. They gave him everything he needed to succeed, but he just comes a little bit short when it comes into these in-fight decisions.
Now, Rubik will have a buyback available as well, but Anti-Mage, as you mentioned, will be down for another 50 seconds. There's the hookshot forward, secures the kill onto Luna.
Big kill.
Wow, Guanzo the playmaker. And that is a buyback on cooldown for Luna. Will be down for almost 2 minutes. Narok in some trouble as Osiris himself engages. Will burn his BKB. There's a black hole available on Narok. Actually, a solo RP burn to try and finish off Enigma as well. Will he have the damage? Shockwave. Mech popped. And now Chicken MC joins the fray. He'll use the sheep. Oh no, there's a fight breaking out down bottom as well. Derp. A nice ice path to buy himself some time, but he will survive. Magnus gets finished off by the Dragon Knight. And now Guanzo tries to pursue, will get the kill on the Jakiro, but at what cost? Narok with a BKB still available, a black hole still available. He'll get finished off by Visage and Rubik. Guanzo somehow still alive despite being trapped inside the cogs with a Dragon Knight as well as a Nature's Prophet. They'll finally finish him off. This is just a bloodbath across the map, Merlini.
This is crazy.
This is insane.
How many people have bought back? I want to see that.
Dude, most of the buybacks are on cooldown right now.
We have 6 buybacks used. No, 7.
Well, Rubik and Dragon Knight have theirs available, and then Enigma's is off cooldown, but he doesn't have the gold for it. So, yeah, there are 7 buybacks on cooldown right now.
Yep, Anti-Mage, as Roshan going to respawn. Oh, will respawn before Luna is alive, but it looks like they want to go for that T3 and possibly another Rags. And if they get the Roshan after that, it's going to be pretty hard for them to come back. Looking at buyback, it will cool down for 1 minute in Anti-Mage, so we will have a little bit more leeway. Ooh, chicken is getting scouted out. Who's buying stuff on the chicken? Oh, the birds.
Anti-Mage. You need to be careful here, Patsoul. Don't make the same mistake you have been.
He should just Manta and just crush his tower.
Yeah.
What? Why is he scared? There's 3 Pyros dead.
All right, he's going for the melee racks down bottom. He'll get turned into a piggy from Chicken MC. The familiars are nearby. They buy him some time. Now that the rest of the team comes in, Nature's Prophet in big trouble. Narok still has a black hole available. Looking for an opening here. Yet to find it. Nature's Prophet trying to port out. And he will survive. Black hole comes. Catches 2. Patsoul as well as Willez. The follow-up damage is enough to finish off the Rubik, but the Anti-Mage survives. Now Luna comes in. Does burn the Eclipse, but not a lot of damage coming out. They may secure a kill onto the Visage. Indeed, they do.
Why did he just BKB? He could have BKB'd to kill the Nature's Prophet right there, but he just gets stunned, and then they don't have any follow-up after the telekinesis. Like, it's a 4-second BKB. What are you scared of?
I don't know.
And now Roshan's going to respawn. Now it's going to go to Dire, and this is just a back-and-forth game. Osiris should have had this in the bag quite some time ago, but I would say Patsoul is making some very huge misplays individually.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. He's been overcommitting in these fights when he could have just been focusing down structures. Rubik will now buy back, so another one burned. Roshan falling very quickly, and I don't think they'll have time to contest. I don't know about that buyback coming out from Rubik. It may prove to be useful if they opt to push here, but that was third Roche. Luna grabs the Aegis, and Cheese does go the way of Nature's Prophet. With that as well, Luna picks up a Satanic, and there's the BKB on Enigma. So these big items that we were worried about, the amount of time it would take to farm them, are finally coming out on the field.
Like, why is he going for the melee racks, too? He could have just manted with his team and then kill the tower, but instead he, like, forces his team to, like, run all the way over here. They lose out on a lot of damage. Yeah, it's valuable. Like, they had, like, 5 seconds before the Enigma respawned.
Yeah,
and they didn't capitalize.
You're at that point now with Anti-Mage where every second you can get an auto attack off is huge because he hits so damn hard right now. He hits for over 400 in auto attack. The time it took him to run was, He's at, like, Divine Rapier damage now. Yeah. And he's effectively 6-slotted at this point. He could buy another BKB. I suppose he could sell the Battle Fury and change it to something else, but he's just about capped out. I guess you could go for BOTs over the power.
They're going to push into an Aegis and a Cheese? That's super risky.
They're feeling bold, Merlini. Glyph is available. Tier 3 tower does fall. They will save the Glyph. Patsoul trying to be patient. There is a black hole down on Enigma. It is not up, so perhaps that's what they're going for here. Anti-Mage hops in, will take some damage to start things off. And now going straight on the Chicken MC. RP comes out, only connects with the Dragon Knight, but it will be enough to secure the kill. Anti-Mage taking a lot of damage. He gets a mech. We'll be able to blink back to safety.
That was a nice force.
Oh, it does cost them their Magnus. A 1-for-1. And looking at buybacks, not much available. Patsol does have his up, though.
Luna has Satanic now, too. That's going to prove to be very brutal. And Magnus doesn't have does he have buyback? No, he doesn't have buyback. So now they can just death push. Why are they taking these risks? If Magnesize, they are in a position to lose a Rax. Whereas if he doesn't, are they really going to push to go Magnus and an Anti-Mage? Probably not. Anti-Mage now sitting at 5,600 gold. He does have buyback, but at the same time, Guanzo is pressuring the bottom lane, hoping they will retreat to defend this melee Rax before their melee Rax is taken down.
I'm not sure if they'll fall for that bait, though. They've got a black hole up now.
If Anti-Mage were up there, he could, but he doesn't have any way to get back to base, so.
He needs those BOTs. Luna still with the Aegis, the Nature's Prophet, still with the Cheese, level 3 Necro Book, now with the Crystalist. They've got everything they need to make this happen. There is a glyph available. It gets popped right away to buy some time for this Tier 3 tower. Magnus still stuck without buyback. And we'll be up in about 25 seconds. Now the Tier 3 tower falls. And they just press forward. Hookshot in from Guanzo. Will use Cogs to try and create some space. But not much follow-up after that. Rax taking heavy pressure here. Luna actually taking some damage. Still with an Eclipse available. Macro Pyre comes out. Guanzo, hook shot onto the Luna once again. Now Anti-Mage leaving the base, looking for a kill on Chicken MC. There's the black hole coming from Narok. It catches Patsol. They'll have enough damage to finish him off. Or will they? Yes, they do. He also secures the kill onto Luna. That procs the Aegis, forces the buyback out of Patsol once again. Now Luna has popped back up, still has the BKB. Will burn it as soon as she respawns. They will be on the back foot. Now Anti-Mage looking to pursue as they hop forward. Magnus is also ready to join the party. He's got an RP available. They'll continue to hop out. Luna could be in some trouble here. Patsol gets caught inside the ice path. Well played by Derp. They're continuing to pursue this Luna. They want him. Guanzo with the Shivas barely connects. Anti-Mage just continuing to press forward. BKB on. Now Dragon Knight. Elder Dragon.
Oh, huge
comes
RP.
the Magnus. And the Cogs as well, helping out. Black Hole stolen once again by Rubik. The Luna in trouble. She'll fall. Dragon Knight gets picked off as well. Chicken MC. Now the Dire's in big trouble. Instant buybacks from Luna as well as the Nature's Prophet. Maybe they can hold. It's still a 5v3 on the field.
This is crazy. This game is absolutely nuts.
If this whole series is like this, I will not have a voice by the end of today.
That is bonkers.
Woo. Oh, hookshot in, coming in from Guanzo. He does create some space, but at what cost? It will be his life. He'll be the first to fall in this fight. Now the Rax taking heavy pressure. There is still a glyph available. They'll burn it as the Rax are getting low. Magnus gets picked off now. Looks like they can repel. Buyback coming out from the Clockwork. And
what's Classic doing? They can ninja the perhaps though. With the AM illusions. Nope.
AM, he's creating some space for you, buddy. He hops back in. That's the end of Chicken MC. Visage still survives. But for how long? He's being bold, perhaps too bold. No. Just trying to take some pressure off of Patsol. He'll walk into the ice path, and he will blink back to safety. Met comes out from Classic. He'll play Sacrificial Lamb, and he'll keel over at behest of his Anti-Mage.
They can probably take this mid-Rax too, but at the same time, he has to be a little bit careful so he doesn't die.
Yep, there's the hook shot forward, and they will finish off the Jakiro. BKB up on Luna, doing a lot of return damage. Guanzo, nice set of cogs, does create some space. Jakiro, he'll buy back. Ice Path off the mark, but they want to pursue. They want some counter kills here. No black hole available, no eclipse available, but 15 seconds is all it'll take. Oh, Will has
a hook shot to a creep. Do it.
And
no hook shot.
Maybe no. There it is. He will hook shot, but he goes through the ice path.
They're still chasing, but they're gonna give up. Oh wow! So they get a lot. They get the mid racks, they get the bottom racks. AM survives. He has buyback cooldown in 4 minutes. Magnus's buyback and then dying didn't really cost them because they don't force the issue. And now Roshan is gonna respawn in around 3 minutes time, and this is still anyone's game.
Yeah, it really is. Look at this gold graph. It is so back and forth, but a pretty negligible lead. Only a few thousand in gold and experience. So many buybacks burned this game. This is one of those games where I wish we had a little drop-down menu for just total buybacks from each team. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely in that double-digit territory.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. I've totally lost track. Just insane. Now, I think Anti-Mage may... Oh, he already did buy a new BKB. Look at that. It's back up to 9 seconds. I did miss that. So that is one thing going the way of Osiris now. They'll have 9 seconds of Magic Immune Anti-Mage.
But he's 6-slotted. Luna's not.
Yeah. She's getting close, though.
Oh, there's an Invis. Oh, they might get a free kill on Jakiro.
Uh-oh. Derp.
This is a free kill. Oh, where is it?
Maybe he'll force staff. He does have the Veil of Discord. Pops it. Now Guanzo. He does hook shot forward. It is a 5v4. Jakiro does not have buyback, so he will be dead for a full 100 seconds. Black Hole, it is available, but he doesn't have mana, and he doesn't have a magic wand. Oh, no. That's unfortunate.
Yep, BKB burned.
Wow, that's bad news for the Enigma.
Well, if they catch Luna in an RP and kill her, the game is over. But at the same time, if they kill AM, game is probably over. So
no one has buyback right now. This could be a final push. It's a 5v4, no buybacks available. This could be it.
The hook shot from downtown.
From downtown, he hooks into the Dragon Knight. Guanzo taking a lot of return damage. Where's the team support? They make it in. RP burned on the solo Dragon Knight. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage hops in.
Oh!
There's the Black Hole from the Rubik. He catches 3. That's enough for the Mana Void to do some serious damage.
Okay.
And that should be it.
Willa's
GG.
MVP. Willa's MVP for sure.
Wow,
like,
that Rubik.
No doubt. He still had it from last steal.
Yeah. That's incredible. Dude, he had more big black holes than the Enigma did, I think.
Yeah. They should not have picked Enigma, but wow, what a game number 1. Willa's definitely MVP. He had like 3 or 4 really good black holes.
At least 3. At least 3 that I remember seeing in big team fights.
That was ridiculous. He pulled Patsol's weight there for sure. Oh my goodness. Willis with those BK, like, the thing is, they shouldn't have been clumsed up anyways, because if they get RP'd, it's over. But if they get RP'd into a black hole, it's super over. And if they just get black hole, it's also over. So, like, any one of those situations could have happened, and then say they get, like, black hole's probably the hardest to pull off the 3 on a support Rubik without BKB.
Wow. What a game 1 to this best of 3 series. 53 minutes of gameplay, 47-32. That is a bloodbath. But yeah, Patsol with some very questionable decision making on that anti-mage. He ends up 19-4.
But though it could have been over a long time ago. Like, they had a 7,500 gold, he just threw it away, flushed it down the toilet with that push. And just a lot of poor macro decisions. He was very good at farming. He farmed it very fast. I think he still should have gone more defensive items instead of the Basher, because Luna had BKB or Butterfly by the time he had Basher. So he's not going to win the man fight in between those two, even though he should with the Empower. So yeah, and they also had like a crucial death before Roshan spawned too. It was just a lot of questionable things. He like didn't BKB one time and didn't kill Chicken MC, and then he BKB'd right before his Aegis.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that play, that was like, if he had finished off the Enigma, that could have been a big play, but yeah, just totally wasted his BKB. So as soon as he came back up from the Aegis, they just CC'd him down with the Scythe of Ice and ended up basically being back-to-back free kills. So game 1 goes the way of Osiris, guys. We've got game 2 coming up in just a moment. This is it. This is the last series of the American qualifier here for Starladder Season 9. And we'll see if DNT can take us into a game 3 or if it'll be a shutout going the way of Osiris. I'm Zyori. With me is Merlini, and we will be right back.